Hey everyone, welcome to Move. There we go. Monday Night Fireside, and let's see what we got here. Move. There we go. And I got an echo in here. I'm gonna have to take over in a second. But first, all right. So we got tonight's topic is what are you going to do now to prep your garden? So I went the wrong way. Let's get us over here. Hey. So,
hello.
Got Laura, Hedgehog Farm, now in Tennessee.
Yeah.
And we have Ray from Fat Man Prepping down there in Phoenix. And of course, I'm up in Idaho.
Hello, Ray.
And we're going to, I got to check something out here real quick, find out what the heck the echo's coming from. In Phoenix. Of course, I'm up in Idaho.
Hello, Ray.
Okay, where's that echo? I got something still going here. What the heck the echo's coming from? In Phoenix. Of course, I'm up in Idaho.
Everything else open.
Where's that echo? I got something still going here. Hang on a second, let me check something here.
Laura, you're
I'm up in Idaho.
Everything else open.
Where's that echo? I got something still going here. Okay, let's test this now. I'm muting Laura for a second, see if it's coming from her side. Yes, it is. Laura, you got a second tab open or something that has YouTube still on it.
I don't.
You don't?
I don't have the tab open, no.
Okay. All right. Seems to have gone away now. Okay, wherever.
Thank God.
It's YouTube trying to screw with all preppers. Oh.
Yeah.
All right, well, let's go see who's all here in the side chat, and we can say hi to everybody. All right, and of course it kicks them off there. So the first one in, if I'm remembering right, okay. So Hugo Homestead was first, then Howie Food Forest Permaculture. Walt Rogers came in, and I froze. Ray hopped in and said hi to them. Passamaquoddy came in. Super Scout came in. Shift Kicker. Bruce Backwoods Law. Hey, Bruce, I sent you the link. I think you need to get up here so Faye can whisper in your ears the answer to the questions we're going to be asking up here. And we lost Ray. All right. Let's see here. Nope. He's back. And we lost Ray. And now we're getting echo, Ray.
Yeah, I'm getting some really
here.
bad
Nope.
echo.
He's back. And we lost Ray. And now we're getting echo, Ray.
And it's not from me.
Yeah, it is. When I muted you, the echo stopped.
Yeah.
So check your, if you have the open tab with YouTube on it to make comments, make sure that tab's muted. All right. Okay, so let's see. Shift Kicker was in here. Bruce, everybody's talking back and forth. Duncan, 1900 Homestead came in. And Mary Beth Smith is here. Gunslinger Outdoors. And thank you, Gunslinger, for that reminder. Please, everyone, hit the thumbs up. And if you could, hit the share button. Share it out on Facebook, Instagram, whatever. All right, everybody's still talking there. Uncle Al's in the house. Just make sure I'm going fast and trying to make sure. Dave, Southern Ohio Prepping is here. And Prep for Eternity Homestead is here. Wait, unmute. Okay, yeah. And Gardener Josh is here. Josh, I sent you the link as well. Sand Hollow Homestead. Hey, Butch. Another channel up here in Idaho. And
I swear my audio was working 100% perfect earlier today, and it just wanted to go nuts today.
Yeah. Hey, Courtney. Sean in Alaska's here. And trying to catch up. Everyone's good. Got people coming in. Suburban Homesteaders here.
I shared it on my community page.
Yay! Because this is something everybody should be doing out there. So I'll get down here to the end here. Gear grinding's in the house. Alicia, it's French. Autism Mom. Tennessee Tactical One is here. Milo on the Ready is here. Tina Weber.
Great people.
And I'm caught up. Uncle Al says, don't blame Spider-Man. All right, so I only got a couple slides here to show before we jump into this. And so side chat, we're going to need your help as well, because this is a spitballing get-together meeting type one to come up with ideas that maybe someone else hasn't thought of, things to do now for prepping your garden. So when I was pulling up the pictures, I saw there's a book here, vegetable garden planning, the mapping garden beds, good life, growagoodlife.com. Probably find it over on Amazon. There's seeds, books, magazines, everything you can think of, and compost. And that's some of the ideas just to start going off there. Virginia Roots is in the house. Hey, Virginia.
Hey, Virginia. Hi,
All right.
everybody else. I would go down the list, but it's too many to cut out. Hi,
So
everybody.
probably the one in the, how would I put it, the worst predicament here, or the most basic predicament is you, Laura. You just got back there to Tennessee, and you don't. You've had nothing last year there, so you're starting fresh, ground zero. And another question was there snow there when you got there?
A couple days after.
A couple days afterwards, when you got that little snow. How much you get?
We got a trace, and then
Trace.
and then later on, then that was Sunday, and then Sunday morning, early morning, it started freezing rain. So that's what we got.
Okay.
And then a little bit, another trace this morning, and that's about it.
So you've been out besides unpacking, trying to get stuff,
We haven't even started unpacking yet. I'm at my sister-in-law's house, and we don't get our containers, our first 2 containers, until the 22nd. They just moved it back. It was going to be Thursday, now it's Saturday. So.
Okay. And so you're going to be staying with your sister then for a while, or? Okay.
Yeah.
Does she have a garden?
She does. She's a gardener as well. She does container gardening, and so I can get some tips and tricks from her. I did learn something about my soil today, because our land is full of broom sage, because we were looking at tractors to take care of it today. We are going to have to supplement our land with lime at the very least, so we're going to get the soil tested and all that. So, yeah.
Okay. So, but for this summer, while you're getting the other stuff prepped and doing stuff there, you can actually garden a little bit at your sister's.
Maybe. I can help her.
Help her. Yeah, we'll help her out. Yeah.
Yeah.
Help her produce twice as much.
Yeah. Well,
All
she's
right,
a pretty darn good gardener herself, so I'm sure that I'll learn some from her as well.
Yeah.
Which is exciting.
All right. Kaylin Strange just came in, and I saw something in the chat. Where'd it go? Bruce says he only got 2 inches there in Tennessee where he was at. Everyone else around him had 12 inches. His land navigation skills are good. All right. Prep for Eternity. I'll put this one up here. They also started a red worm bed for castings and have a poop shuttle for the rabbits. Cool.
Yep.
And I'm going back up.
Do that as well.
Let's see what anybody else is saying up there. Brenda says seed catalogs, her favorite reading for the winter.
I know. I am not allowed to buy any seeds this year because I have boxes full of seeds.
Yeah.
So- and
All
I
right,
saved some seeds, so
yeah. So Alicia said, would love to have a raised bed, something for her front yard. Hey, Alicia, if you haven't checked it out, go look at my video. It's in the My Garden playlist now. The first one in there, I started out shows the what my wife did to the front yard. We have no lawn at the California house. Zero, none, zip. It's all garden, front and back. If it doesn't have concrete on it, it has it's a garden. And even where there is concrete, she has pots and everything out there on it. So,
right.
all right. And of course, Gear said, buy the amendments in the fall. Yeah, start putting stuff down in the fall.
Yeah. It's a little late for us.
Yeah.
I need to buy some lime. That's what I need to buy.
I don't know if I said Kaylin Strain's here, but Kaylin Strain's in the house.
Hello,
And we're
Katie.
going to talk about a little bit about some ideas. I already mentioned it to Ray beforehand about it. All right. So things what you can do, obviously, like Brenda said, seed catalogs. I got mine from Baker's Creek.
Oh, I'm jealous.
They still produce catalogs?
Oh yeah.
Yep.
This is the free catalog. The pay catalog is a lot thicker.
Yeah.
And it has more information in it.
Hmm.
So yeah, so this is the
Hey, Courtney. And Bruce.
yeah. So
Howie.
yeah.
North.
Yeah, I was gonna wanted to hit Courtney to find out what she's doing to prep it up. I know what Backwoods Law is doing. Purple Tea Bear has stuff lined out already, but how much I don't know. The only thing he's talking about is he's building raised planter beds as soon as he can.
Yeah.
Well, Courtney's busy. She's out buying used toilets so that she can go ahead and have raised beds and toilets. Sorry, Courtney, you're not here to defend yourself. So
Hello, Stan Swallow.
I would say that that's actually not a bad idea if you just do just the bowl and not the tank. When you fill both of them, it gets a little hard to move around. But that way you can plant the marigolds or the other ones that the flowering plants that chase off the pests. And you can move those around in the garden where you need them.
Right.
But all right, Kaylin's making compost. Kaylin's in an apartment and she's making compost. She does have she has a little balcony. If you haven't seen her videos, go check it out. She has her little balcony out there, and last year was her first year actually growing a lot of stuff, so she did pretty good. And Kathy's in the house. Kathy has struck again. The mod from everywhere.
I will be making compost as soon as I hit the ground. I mean, we've toured. I've saw the property, but as soon as we get it, start working it, we will be starting compost.
Oh, Milo says radishes work really well in the bowl, in a toilet bowl.
you don't have to worry about ring around the bowl either.
Courtney, if that's true, that means you can start selling it off and having a side business of producing quality rabbit poo.
I think it was chicken poo shoes.
Or chicken poo. Yeah, sorry. Chicken poo. Yeah, sorry. I don't know why I said rabbit poo. I know she mentioned she was thinking about possibly getting rabbits, I think, at one time.
She did, I think.
Yeah. I know we're thinking about. I got to talk over my wife the next time she comes up here. We got to go out to what was the pig pen out here when I bought the place. We're not gonna raise pigs, but I think that might be a great place to do rabbits because it's got a big concrete slab out there where we put straw on and stuff so they can run around it, but they can't dig down to get out. So that may be something we're doing. All right.
So are you talking about doing rabbits all together in one area?
There's a big area where we can do it and we can keep the males separate in cages and let the females run out and around.
The females will fight too, though.
They will?
Yeah.
Well, we've had rabbits down in California. We didn't have that property with them fighting. They just had a problem with them digging down under and escaping.
Right. They're pretty territorial. The females are actually more territorial than the males.
Okay. Well, something we'll learn. We'll figure out, because basically there's I guess it's about a 20-foot diameter grain silo, but it's only 12 foot high on it.
Mm-hmm.
And so we can put cages all over in there.
Yeah.
And protect them from the winter and stuff a little bit,
Nice.
so they don't get so cold.
Yeah,
Kaylin says she's going to get more turkeys. There's 110 bell. Yeah, I saw those ones that they're doing with the turkey pens that Courtney was talking about. So the one of the things I was thinking about, of course, is that if you have raised planter beds, now's the time to turn your soil. Basically, what I did last year worked out really good. I dumped all my IBC totes out, or dug them out. The 55-gallon barrels that I cut in half to make 27-gallon planters, I dumped them all out. Put stuff back in. Put some the bigger sticks and stuff at the bottom, and piled all the manure and the soil back in on top of it. And it actually, I had my tomatoes last year outgrew the 5-foot tall cages I built for them.
Mm-hmm.
So that's one thing, since it's still freezing here, probably have another 2 months before I can do that. But I can start planning stuff and figure out what I'm going to do. One of the things that I want to do kind of goes along with what Ray and Kaylin do, since they're in apartments. I want to get a couple of 15-gallon pots. And actually, I can show you that here in a second. Let me get that out of the way and put this over here. Amazon. I think I don't think, did I save it? No, I didn't. I've just been looking. I haven't settled anything yet. GA garden. And see what brings them up. Yeah. So what I was looking at was getting some of these 15-gallon pots. But the problem is, I'm looking at this stuff here. A 10-pack here is $136 for 10 of those. But on one of the pages, I thought I may have done it. But the thing is, the other ones they're all these fabric ones. And the fabric ones lose water like
I have them. You got to keep them moist.
Yeah. And of course, Ray had mentioned possibly about lining them with the plastic garbage bags and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So the water doesn't just all evaporate out the sides and stuff.
Right.
But I found some, they're not showing up here right now. It was compared to these other prices, it was ridiculously low. It's like a 4-pack for $38 for the 15-gallon ones. I just can't find them again.
Right.
But because what I can do is, if I could have the 15-gallon ones here, get them at a decent price, that would be pretty good for indoors. I could start my tomato plants now.
Yeah.
And in a couple months, when they're about 3-4 feet tall and it warms up enough, then I can take them outside.
Yeah.
And I'm already months ahead on it.
You just got to give them a lot of light.
Yes. And we got, in the living room, we got sort of a slightly based, just slightly protruding, 3 sets of windows. But I also have 4-foot LED glow lights that I can put around them on a timer too. So when the sun's up and they're not getting quite enough from the inside, put the glow lights behind them. That way they're getting light from both sides. But the pots here and stuff, unfortunately, most of the pots, actually, let me check something here. Let me check here. Gardening. Did I
Being
put it in
an
there?
indoor gardener, I'm a very big fan of LED grow lights. Here in
Gardening. Nope.
Arizona, I open up that window, they'll get too much. If I take the blind, open up the blinds,
Yeah.
my plants will get way too much sun and just cook.
Gardening. No, I guess I didn't. I thought I might have gone ahead and put stuff on there, but I don't have basalt. No, I didn't. Oh well. I thought I might have saved that one. I'm kicking myself now because that was a ridiculously low price for those four tubs compared to everything else. Everything else is like,
Oh, they'll show up again in your Amazon thing later.
I just have to go down to my browsing history and go through that.
Hello, Klingon princess.
Hey, how you doing, Klingon? Oh, and just checking anybody else slipped in here. Michelle P. Hey, Michelle. And boy, all of the other big gardeners don't want to come up here for some reason. I sent the link to Gardener Josh. I sent it to Courtney. I sent it to Bruce just because of Faye. And yeah.
So, do you grow determinate tomatoes?
I guess that's what they are. They were actually what I have is some beefsteaks I was growing. Mm-hmm. I got them at Home Depot, so probably determinate.
Mm-hmm.
But the first year I planted them, they were in a lot of rabbit poo, and some rabbit poo had been sitting there and maturing for several months and stuff. And they got about that tall maybe.
It's and because then when rabbit I put them poo you need is fresh. The fresher the rabbit poo, the better.
Yeah.
Because rabbit poo you can use right away. So that's the nice thing about rabbit poo.
So when I redid it over here on the new side, because Brandon had cows out here on the one side of his property here, there was cow poo everywhere, and some of it was cow sludge. And so I was out there. I did a video of my using my tractor, scooping it all up, turning it, mixing it in and stuff. Mm-hmm. And then I just shoveled that straight into the 55-gallon barrels cut in half. And I put some sticks in the bottoms, but I just basically it was almost pure alfalfa and a little bit of dirt mixed in. Mm-hmm. So I thought it might be too hot.
Right.
Those things went absolutely bonkers on me.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Because usually they say wait a while for.
Yeah, but see, some of this poo had been out there for years. So,
tomatoes are a very, very, very hardy plant. They can grow just about in anything.
Yeah. Well, they really love the cow poo, which some of the cow poo was old, some of it was new, and I mean, literally, he took the cows out of here the third week of January. Last year, because he was moving them to his parents' place, getting ready to move out because we were closing on the 31st of January, and so they were still out there pooping up until the time he took them away.
Right.
So, but he never cleaned up the poo; he just left it out there. So there was probably some pies and stuff that were from the summer before and everything else. So, but. Yeah, it was, I just raked it all up, put it in my tubs there. And even the cherry tomatoes we picked up, which were from the local nursery up here, just, they grew out of the top of their cages too.
Right.
And so it was exciting to see them going that much, but it's like, dang, if I'd known they were going to grow this big, I would only planted one plant each.
Right.
No, it looks like we got the quail cam up going.
Yeah, I just don't want you to see what I'm doing right now.
Well, that quail has its butt up against it, so that was his chest actually. But there's his quail. Ray is growing quail in his dining room.
Nice.
In an apartment, so
that's cool.
Yeah. Hey, Christy. And so, yeah, that's something else, you can do, most people don't think about doing is raising quail and stuff. So here comes the Lord of the Gourd. Hey, Josh.
I'm here to save the day. What are we talking about?
Your favorite subject.
Gardening. We're talking about things you can do now to prep your garden or prep for your garden. Everything from planning out how you're going to be laying the garden out, and to figure out buying seeds now, whether or not, and just
do all of that. All of that. You just said you have to do all of that right now.
You should have bought your seeds in the fall.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I mean, you can still order some of the seeds because there's been a lot of places that have been out this year.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, I'm not going to buy. I got a few things I got to buy, and some things, but they're just wants. They're not needs.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely it's primo time to get your raised beds ready. Get your like I do raised beds and in ground. But I'm adding a whole bunch more raised beds, so I'm doing all that.
Right.
The time is now to get it, especially if you're using chicken poop. If you ain't got it composted, you need to get that composting quickly.
Yeah.
If you want to use it.
Yeah. Now, there's something I've always been trying to find out, and I'm not sure who to ask. I know there are different, types of worms, earthworms. There's, night crawlers and other ones, and short ones and fat ones, and all these other ones. What it'd be interesting to know what type of worm that you can get actually thrives the best in chicken poo and breaks it down the best.
Any kind of worm, but
you don't want worms in your poop, man. You don't want worms anywhere near your chickens. But I mean, like, just night crawlers underneath it will be fine. Red wigglers underneath it will be fine.
Okay.
But you don't really want that, like, any kind of weird ass worm right near your chickens. They carry stuff that chickens don't like.
Yeah.
Well, earthworms, they'll just eat them all up.
Yeah.
But I mean, after you rake it away from the chickens and you're starting to compost it, the best type worm to put into your compost pile to break red wigglers.
Yeah, red wigglers are really good. I just go buy the ones for fish bait, man. That's what I do.
You can buy worms online that you put in a worming compost. But if you're looking for, if you're sticking foods and other things in your compost pile, it will just attract worms. So you don't even really have to buy worms for your compost.
Just go throw a bolt down on the ground and then pick it up in 2 weeks. There'll be plenty of worms there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because I know back when my mom had chickens and stuff, because we'd clean out the chicken barn about once a month, go in there, get about 12, 15 wheelbarrows full of straw and chicken poo out of there, and pile it up, and we'd never get worms up into that pile for weeks and weeks until we spread it out and mixed us other dirt and other stuff in with it to keep it from being quite so hot, because it was too hot for the worms to survive, at least the worms we had there in California on the area. So
even the worms out there are screwed up.
Well, yeah. It's just that they probably weren't used to that much chicken poo and stuff out there. Now over where the cow pies those were just loaded with worms where the cows were at.
Yeah.
You gotta have the right mix in there. You can't have 90% chicken, 1% cantaloupe. You gotta have a lot more stuff when you're doing it that way.
You have to have your browns and your greens 50-50. Because if you don't have that, if it's too hot, sticking in some newspaper or some cardboard or something to cool it down a little bit, worms love that stuff too, just as much. Or leaves galore, sticking
cardboard. They'll eat cardboard, newspapers, everything.
So, and then making sure it's wet enough as well so they can drink. So, but you want it wet enough that you can, if you squeeze it, you might really hard, you might get a dropout, but any more water than that, then you got too much water. So
that's why
it
needs to be moist.
Mhm.
So that's something else people can start doing now. Is if you have a chicken hatchery or turkey hatchery around you, you might check with them to see where they're selling their stuff off to, or whether they're just selling to people to come up, by the truckload.
Mhm.
Because that might be a good way to get a bunch of stuff if you don't have chickens and you need to
Or if you have
start.
a neighbor with poo of
Mhm.
some kind.
You
Go
can
for it.
always look places like Amazon Marketplace or Craigslist. There's farmers out there more than willing to give you horse manure, cow manure.
I found a little stable that was trying to get rid of a whole bunch of manure, and they keep really fancy jumping horses over there. So it's really, all the stuff was really high quality stuff. They just come and load you up for free. They
Right.
just wanted to get rid of it.
That's so
You
cool.
might want to ask though what they're feeding their animals, because if you're trying to do organic or whatever, you can
Oh yeah,
run into some
yeah, it was
issues.
all organic. Yeah, they were feeding it non-sprayed. The wood chips were non-sprayed. Everything was non-sprayed. Nothing was sprayed ever.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was only
Yeah.
like an 8-horse stable. It was nothing
Oh,
really
we got
big.
A bot.
a bot. Okay. Well, and bam, that's the last time a bot's going to be commenting unless they join for 10 minutes. So yeah, I just hit the 10-minute. Have to be a subscriber to make comments. So
Great way to get
I
your
was
sub
trying to
count
come
up.
up like 10 minutes. I was trying to come up for like 10 minutes, but as I was putting my phone on my tripod, it broke. So maybe that was a sign
your
I
phone
shouldn't
or
have
the
come up.
tripod broke.
The tripod.
Yeah.
I broke the
All
phone
right.
when I first got it. I mean,
Cool.
Tennessee Tactical with the kill.
Yeah. And if you ever watch Tennessee Tactical on Mondays, he does his ammo
Hugo.
report. So he's a good shot.
Yes, they do, Hugo. I loved my rabbits for that. What I did for my compost is I did something called a racken house. I put my rabbits over wood chips, like probably 6 to 8 inches of wood chips. And then I also let my chickens in there. The chickens would dig through the wood chips and dig in the rabbit manure. And then that would be a great mix of brown and green. So
yeah, them chickens will do it all for you. I mean,
yeah, I love my
they'll do it all.
chickens. They're so awesome.
Yeah,
So
that's
that's
so
what
cool.
I did.
I can watch chickens for hours. I get chickens. People I don't get. I get chickens.
Yeah.
That's
I
how I feel about
understand.
quail.
I mean, I literally, there's a goose out there. I don't know what his deal is. He won't attack me. He wants, I don't, he, I just, now I can't put him in the oven. So we're screwed.
Mhm.
I got to,
All right, put a little bell around his neck and let him be an attack goose.
oh, he will, but usually they all bite me, but he doesn't.
Yeah.
Yep.
The one of the things that we used to have horses and stuff. So what we would do is for our compost pile, after we pruned all the fig trees, the apple trees, the apricot trees, all that went into the big compost pile on the base, and then the horse manure went in on top of it. Then the cow manure, then the chicken manure went on top of the horse manure, and the cow manure went on top.
Right.
And then a layer of sand and stuff went over that to keep any flies down. That way, because horse manure, the horses don't digest their feed as well as cows do, and so you will get seeds making it through the digestive tract on a horse.
Right.
But when you throw the chicken poo on top of it, then it starts baking quick, and the two of them together really start breaking down the branches and stuff.
Yeah.
And then the cow manure on top, because we water that down, that holds the water in better than anything. So just enough to keep everything going and keep it from getting too hot.
Mm-hmm.
But it would burn out the all the weed seed, the first little bit, and then everything started breaking down and mixing in. That was back when I was a teenager.
Right.
So that was a while ago.
Like,
Yeah.
yeah, he was riding them horses to and from town. That's how long ago.
Yeah.
Just kidding, Gil. I love you.
No, one other thing too, if you did something like that and then just added chickens in that area.
Yeah.
I've seen people do compost piles. Compost piles are great, but you do need to fold them or turn them. And if you don't have time to do that, or you don't have the back for it,
Yeah.
throw some chickens in there. Let them turn your compost for you.
They will definitely turn that stuff quick too.
Yeah.
I-
And they'll
I-
take out those weed seeds and those, nasty things.
Fly larvae. They'll get rid of all the fly larvae. They'll get rid of all of it. They do it all. I gave up on trying to make an actual mound of compost because trying to keep a chicken out of a compost pile is very difficult. So now it just basically, if I want good dirt, I go till up the chicken run and I'll dig down a foot and take all the soil from a foot below the surface, and that's what I use.
Another thing that you could do right now.
Thank you, Kathy. Have a good time. Kathy's heading out.
Bye, Kathy.
The one thing that I found interesting, and this kind of goes with what you guys have been saying, is there's another YouTube channel a little bit, about 8 miles from me here, Dirt Patch Heaven, and she's made raised planter beds using pallets, lined them and stuff, and insulated them and everything, so it lasts through the winter. She did hugelkultur in there, and up to the time once she harvested everything out of there, she moved the rabbit cages over onto one end of it and put the quail in there. So the quail are running back and forth under the rabbits, and underneath the little blanket she put in there for their cover, because they like to be under cover because they get nervous. So they're running out there and they're scratching and digging and everything. She says that this spring, when she goes and pulls the rabbits off there and pull the quail out of there, the soil should just be ready to plant in.
Mm-hmm.
So
you can do the same with chickens, but you have to pull the chickens off earlier than that. Hey,
Yeah.
Fishes.
Hey,
Fishes.
Carol. So yeah, there's a lot of different ways to turn your stuff. Well, one of the things my mom did she started building the big compost pile in '75, and what they did is my dad got a bunch of heavy duty sheeting from somewhere, a 3/4 inch plywood sheeting, and he made it 16 feet by 16 feet square. And so we just started piling the stuff in the back and everything. But every 4 feet, he had some 4-inch drain pipe that had the holes in it, and he drilled more holes in it and stood that up in it, so it would air down in it. We wouldn't have to turn it, and so it was getting air down below and everything. And the other thing, then back then in the '70s, laundry detergent was loaded with phosphate, especially Cheer. I think all temperature, Cheer laundry detergent. And so they'd get get the big cardboard boxes of the Cheer and just sprinkle it out there, the laundry soap out there, so it was loaded with phosphate, and it go in it down and help stuff break down and help increase the fertile.
That explains a lot, Gil. That explains a lot. I understand. I'll never question anything ever again about you, Gil. I understand now.
Gil was doing the Tide Pod Challenge before the Tide Pod Challenge was popular.
Yeah.
All right. Milo says Tide had the phosphates. Okay, maybe it was Tide. But everyone was high in phosphates before, because they were just starting to because basically at that time, I think most of them had phosphates, but one was really high. And they were trying to get rid of the phosphates because of what was happening in the Mississippi. Because everyone was dumping their sewer in the Mississippi. And of course, all that phosphates in there, all the plant life was just going nuts in the Mississippi and starting to choke parts of the area off.
Well, maybe people should have been sprinkling laundry detergent on their compost piles, and probably a little bit less phosphate going into the rivers. Just saying.
Or if they were dumping their laundry water out onto the compost piles and out into the garden. Because actually, when we lived in Arizona for 73 and 74, the washing machine and the shower went right on out into the garden.
Wow.
And so, yeah, that was some of the greenest stuff I've seen.
In a lot of homes, that's no different today.
Yeah.
They just go straight out to the ground.
y'all. I live in a trailer park in the middle of Oklahoma, and all of our stuff is good, man. We have pipes. It works. I mean, they're old trailers too, really old trailers, built in the 70s probably, and they all go not on my yard. Just saying.
Yeah. So the thing. So having a brain fart here. There was something else I wanted to show you guys, and I'm not sure if I can find it here, but I found a really good deal last year and a half back. I'm scrolling through my stuff. I've tried to create a folder on Amazon. When I buy something, I put it in there. It's called my bot folder, and sometimes I forget. I forgot to put them in there. Dang it. Let me check. Do I have a greenhouse on here? No, I don't. Let me check this on. But I found a set of 4-foot grow lights relatively cheap. I mean, ridiculously cheap compared to the others, and they worked really well. And I'm trying to see if I kept them in the purchase line or not. Nope, I didn't. But they were. I think I paid $134. No, it was regularly $134, and I got them for $99 for all 4 of them. So a set of 4. And of course, now after a price increase, they're probably $250. The way prices went up after the last 2 years.
You have to buy those in the fall too, or
Yeah.
right after, or at the end of the summer season.
Yeah.
So.
Hi,
Guardian Prepper.
Guardian.
Hey, Guardian, how's it going?
Guardian, what's going on, brother?
Grow stuff out here, grow lights and all that stuff. There is so much of it around now since the legalization of marijuana in the state of Oklahoma that the prices for grow light stuff are just dirt cheap. I mean, there's a store everywhere that sells them. I mean, it's insane. They're not that expensive at all. But I mean, I don't use them. I don't have the room. If I did, I would, but I don't have the room to grow lights.
Shop lights too, though.
Oh yeah, I mean, Home Depot.
That's
absolutely
the
autistic prepper. All soil from the pots gets remixed up, revitalized, and put back in.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, I hear the sun's pretty good at growing plants, but I've yet to prove it.
Yeah. Well, maybe you need to put it on the other side of the trail.
Where I was from.
I don't know. I don't trust nature. I prefer the science, not the nature. Just saying.
Look, easy, Fauci Jr. We don't trust the science up here.
One of the things too, I guess, Laura, you're going to be finding out when you start planting all the seeds you saved from Oregon in Tennessee, to find out how different the zone conditions are for those seeds.
Yeah. So I'm going to have to be looking at the back of my packages a lot. But I bought them from Baker Creek and stuff like that. It's more, I mean, a lot of the stuff that I couldn't grow out there is going to grow so much better here. Which I'm so excited about, like zucchini. Well, zucchini I could grow anywhere. But melons and things like that.
Yeah, the longer take. Yeah, I hear you. We got a great grow season in Oklahoma. I mean, it's long.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty long.
One of the things, though, that which is something I'm going to throw this up here, is my wife absolutely loves these things. She's gone through 3 pair in the last 5 years. It has the hard plastic claws for digging in around the stuff. And she was going through 2 or 3 regular pairs of gloves out working in the garden a year. But these last a little bit longer. Those nice hard plastic tips for digging in the soil and stuff. She absolutely loved these. And these things are on sale for $10 now. Regular 15. Oh,
there ain't a chance I'm buying anything like that for my wife. Are you crazy?
Hey, they also make
afraid of
great.
his wife.
They make great back scratchers. Ooh, yeah.
Yeah. Well, like throat puncturers as well. No, thank you. Not happening.
Great Valentine's Day gift. No, this is what I use out in the garden. This
Yeah,
right
that's
here.
the thing, man. You got to get your hands in it. That's the whole point of it. You got to
Right.
get dirty and get your hands in it. Get your, get
My
connected. Otherwise, you got to have that connection.
Hey,
Mhm.
Tibor. All right. So CB's asking what they're called. Tell you what I'll do. I'll just drop that link, Amazon link in here, and you guys can get that out. There we go. There's the link for them on Amazon. $9.99 right now. I need to check my wife after I end this, call my wife and find out whether or not she needs me to get another pair for her.
Nice.
But hey, Freaky Geek, how's it going?
Hey, Freaky.
The other thing I was thinking about was saving those, like the big yogurt containers, like the quart-sized yogurt containers. Saving those. I did it some last year. I did a quick video. I did mine for my daughter. She had all these yogurt containers. I just drilled holes in the bottom of it so they would drain for to use as pots. That way, she's using bigger pots to allow them to start her garden inside earlier, and they wouldn't get root bound as they would in the smaller ones. And that when she goes out to plant, digs the hole and sets the whole thing in there, and she can actually start a month earlier than she would normally here. And so anybody out there is eating yogurt in the big quart containers or the cottage cheese in the big containers or whatever, don't throw those containers away. Reuse them. They make great garden pots.
Gil, but like I mentioned before on one of your lives, if you eat eggs, that shell is the perfect seed starter.
Yep.
Bake it for 30 minutes, about 200 degrees, dry it out real good. Put some starter soil in there, put your seed. When you're ready to go plant, just crush that egg. It'll give the plant some additional calcium while it's growing its new roots deeper into the soil. They're beautiful.
And that's the other thing too, is when you're prepping your soil, especially for tomatoes, there are several channels out here that swear by it. And that's get yourself a thing of Tums right now. And then before you go to plant your tomatoes and stuff, put a Tums down in the bottom there.
I just put a raw egg in there.
Raw egg, yeah.
In every tomato plant. Yeah.
Because the calcium and stuff, it helps get rid of the end blossom rot on tomatoes.
Yeah, I got all the chickens, so I just dry out all my eggs and just put it in the soil when I fill the beds up, or then top dress in the winter.
I usually have enough eggs that I can just throw a whole raw egg in each.
Oh yeah, we do that too. Egg in the hole. Rich and Refuge talking about.
Yeah.
When I was a younger man and actually had space to grow, during the summer, I'd fish and I'd keep all the fish scraps from cleaning. Head, guts, throw them in the freezer. Come planting time, they go in there with the seed.
Roses love fish guts.
Yeah, I just throw all the scraps in the chicken run and they take care of all of it.
Yeah.
My wife just had some more come in here.
Bones and everything in there.
Yeah, Shawnee, Emma, and Albany Mountain. Hey, guys.
Hi, Albany Mountain.
Hey, Shawnee. Hey, everybody. I can't see chat right now, so hey, everybody that I don't see.
One of the pleasures of doing a live with a cell phone.
Right. Oh, I can see the chat, but I guess I could. I'm only going to cover your face. It'd be all right.
Nobody wants to see this ugly thing.
Aww. Be nice.
Why do you think I wear the hat and I switch over the quail cam from time to time? Nobody wants to look at this ugly mug.
Well, it ain't about what we look like. It's about our knowledge. My knowledge is way sexier than I am.
Yeah.
Oh, well,
Yeah,
hell, I'm the sexiest guy on earth.
So anybody, thinks that, they're in an apartment, can't do anything. Well, Ray's doing quail in his apartment.
Yep.
So
Everything
extra
can be done as
rabbit.
long as it's done right. I mean, you do have to take a lot of special precautions in the apartment as well. I'm sure he knows. But,
When
yeah,
I
you can
lived
do
in
it.
the city,
Not
when I
really.
lived in the city on a 1/4 acre, I did turkeys, raised my own turkeys, raised my own meat chickens, raised my own rabbits, raised regular chickens, and did a garden. And we had to give away meat before we moved from here because we had.
I bet you're just giddy right now, aren't you, Laura?
Oh,
I
my
bet you just can't wait.
Yeah,
Oh, I would love it, man. That would be
can't wait
so
to get
awesome.
on that land. When we were
Oh, I
looking
know.
at tractors today, I'm like, whoo!
all right, I want to answer this question here. No, worms are not attracted to beer like slugs are because they won't come up
No.
out of the ground to get to it.
No.
Now, one thing I have heard that if you want to draw worms to an area, spray some ammonia out there because the ammonia's smell is similar to stuff breaking down urine and the cow poo and everything else, and it really draws the worms to it.
Yeah, I've heard that
Yeah, but
too.
you don't want to go around leaving beer anywhere in your yard, or you're gonna have a Fat Man Prepper in your yard drinking out of the bowl. Stop it! Don't do that.
Oh, no. I did that everywhere. And I tell you, those slugs love that beer. And
I know.
I swear by
It's
it.
crazy. Yeah. Oh, yeah. They love it.
Yes, I will, on behalf of all slugs out there, yes, we do love beer.
We will let you be their spokesman. You shall be known as the Slug King.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, so worms are not attracted to
Hey,
the
Bob.
same things to get rid of slugs or sow bugs. No.
I don't know. You just read that, and geese ain't supposed to like humans, and I can prove that wrong tomorrow if you'd like.
Well, I've never heard geese don't like humans. They don't like anyone but the humans that feed them all the time. They become protective of their free meal ticket. So
Well, wait a minute. He's making a big assumption there because he's assuming he's actually a human.
whoa, the counter shot fires back.
Oh, shots fired! Shots fired! Mayday! I'm going down. What am I going to do?
Oh, remind me not to mess with Ray.
Oh yeah, Ray. Don't get me started, Ray.
Not
I'm
on
a professional.
Maybe on one of those other lives out there.
All right, yeah. I'll wait till you come over on mine before I dress you down. That's right. Good props on you, man. Respect. I like that. We'll save it for another day.
But that's my next project will be rabbits. So I will have quail and rabbits, and I'm going to look at some other small varmint type things that I can raise for meat.
Yeah.
Guinea pigs, man.
It's
pigs.
It's not hard in an apartment. People think it is.
No.
As long as you leave your apartment in a condition equal to or greater than when you moved in, you're pretty well set.
The other thing
I mean,
I talked to Ray beforehand. I want to mention it now for anyone out there in an apartment.
Oh, yeah, we were talking about that.
Yeah. Check with the property management team for your apartment. If your apartment has grass areas or areas that they have to maintain and pay a company to come in to maintain, see what you can do about if you can convince them that, hey, it'll save them money because they won't have to have the landscaping company cleaning it, to put in community garden area. That way, the people that are living there can plant a garden for stuff they can't grow up in their apartment. And then the property management team doesn't have to pay for landscapers to take care of that area.
Also, if you live out in the suburbs and there's a vacant plot of land, you can usually garden 1 or 2 years before they develop, and they don't care. They really don't care. We did that when I was a kid. We had a vacant lot right across the street, and that was a community garden until the landowner decided to build on it.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't ask permission I just did it. I turned my whole neighbor's yard into my animal run. And I have one little place for my dogs to run and play. And then the rest is either garden, raised beds, or animals. I didn't ask permission.
He's okay with it.
Well,
Okay,
yeah, because he's
now-
scared of me. He won't help me.
One of the things that is going on, I follow the Economic Ninja, and lumber prices are going back up again. And so to build a raised planter bed, I'm going to bring this up here. If you Google IBC totes for sale, prices range anywhere. You got this. Here's one for $200. Then you get forget the one from Granger. Granger's overpriced. A little bit more for the 330 gallon one. But wait a minute. Here's the 330 gallon one for $68 used. It says for drinking water, rainwater harvesting. You cannot build a raised planter bed that is 4.5 feet tall for $68.
Yeah.
And you cut that in half. Now you have a 40 inch by 8 foot raised planter bed.
Well, not only that, there's some good channels out there that will show you how to make it with concrete, using concrete forms that you can actually reposition a year, on a year-to-year basis.
Yeah.
They're very interesting using concrete or aircrete. I mean, there's some really good tutorials.
The problem is that most people realize concrete actually poisons the soil a little bit because it gives out the lime soaks out of it, the fly ash soaks out of it, and so
you gonna worry about a little concrete? You just said you spread laundry detergent on top.
Yeah,
now
you're
you
doing
it doesn't poison the soil. It fertilizes the soil.
Yeah, it does, but I mean, you can overcome that pretty easily.
Yeah.
You gotta think outside the box.
For a garden bed, that's one. A flower bed, that's one thing. But vegetables, especially root vegetables, you don't want them growing around the concrete.
Well, I feel that way with pressure treated lumber too. So
pressure treated lumber. The only thing we will build a raised planter bed out of. The only lumber is redwood. That's all, because that's lasts the longest and it's not treated at all.
Come on now. That's what everybody wants to say. But I don't have any of my raised beds. My raised beds are built out of OSB. I mean, I know everybody says all that. I've been doing it for years. I'm still here. I'm 300 pounds. I'm not dying. I'm not withering away of some weird disease. You got to use what is at your disposal to do it. Don't let anything hold you up on doing it. Yeah. Anything will work. I've got a bathtub that I use for an herb garden. I found 2 more bathtubs I'm going to turn into more herb gardens. Don't let anything. You could use anything. Do it in a bucket. I mean, don't let anything stop you. Just get out there and do it. I mean, that's it.
Yeah. Bathtubs are great, especially you have the old cast iron ones.
I have.
Those things
might break your back bringing it over, but
oh yeah, they're not fun to move. They are once you fill them up, it's horrible. But
hey, Cosmic Cultivator. And the things that what's neat about a bathtub, if you set it up right, you take like a piece of 3-inch sewer pipe, cut it in half lengthwise, lay it on the bottom so it goes over the drain, and throw some weed blocker to act as a filter that keeps it from plugging up. And it has a drain then, and you can actually catch any of the water coming out of there and reuse it because it's also washing some nutrients down with it. So you want to reuse that.
Yeah, that's what I have it set up to where I water one end out of it and the drain goes over and gets my blackberries. When it drains out, it flows over and hits my blackberries.
I mean, I do to a degree have to agree with Gardner, Josh. Use what's available. I mean, I've used the styrofoam insulation, big 4x8 sheets that I had available to me for free and built some good little gardening beds with those.
I mean, it's in your house, so.
Yeah. Well, a lot of people. I know a lot of people for a while were using the old tires for doing stuff in it, and I've seen that there's been several reports on all the chemicals leaching out into the food that they're harvesting from
I've heard that too.
Tires, because those things, that rubberized crap, is that you used to make tires out of is not good stuff.
No, I might agree with the tire things, but I still know people that do it every year. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm not hating on them.
Yeah, I know a couple people too. They
understand.
only got like 3 eyes and 6 fingers on their hand.
Yeah, I mean, there's no way that's worse for you than a commercial farming operation. Because I've done the commercial farming operation, and there's no way that growing it in a tire is worse for you than what they're putting on your food.
Yeah,
I'll guarantee you that.
Okay. All right. We've been up here for about an hour. We can run another 5-10 minutes before we have to cut it off because White Family Farm is going at top of the hour here with the Media Monday. Any other stuff?
No, it's good. I think it's good show, Gil. I like it. I'm glad I come up. I'm supposed to have quit YouTube, but here I am.
Here I am talking you into it.
Leah talked me into it. She said, "Get your ass back up there."
Yeah, I guess she doesn't want you to go cold turkey.
No, I was fine. I was done with it. She didn't even know I was done with it. I didn't tell her, but she supports me. What can I say?
Yeah, all right. Tibor says the old tires, are okay, but the newer ones, a couple decades old, are bad. Yeah, if you go to the ones that are like from back in the 70s and the 60s and stuff, if you can find those are quite really a bit better than.
It's going to be hard to convince me that something like rubber that comes from a tree.
Oh, it's not the rubber. It's not the rubber. It's the synthetic crap they make from the oil to make the tires.
Well, I hear you.
I'm gonna be using found wood on my land to start some raised beds, probably.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that would be awesome.
Yeah.
Now, oh, thank you, Shawnee, for putting this up here. All right, see, Guardian Prepper saying, "Don't quit, Josh."
Yeah,
I know that's what.
I'm gonna agree with Guardian Prepping because you seem a bit feisty, and I think I can have fun with you too. So
I'm not trying to come off feisty. It's my debate background. I love all you guys. I'm not trying to come off as feisty, but
you got that Midwest attitude, and I love it. That's where I'm from. I'm from Nebraska, man. I know what it's like.
I have never grown in hay bales, but I'm very interested in
yeah, I know. I'm thinking about I know there are other things you can grow in hay bales, and one of the things they talk about doing is you dig out like like you're going to put it in a pot, like digging out of soil, and put your seed in some grow dirt right there, and then it goes in and starts breaking down the rest of the bale and stuff. As far as potatoes, I think that might be too firmly packed for potatoes. But if you break open break it up so it can spread out, and the potatoes can push the leaves apart a little bit as it grows in there, and spread out the hay, that might work better.
I'm pretty sure Courtney or Dustin, one of them's got a whole video on planting in top of a straw bale. I think they just planted a tomato plant or something right in the top of it. So
yeah, tomato plants and stuff. Yeah, I've seen them doing that. I've seen them doing the borage. I've seen them, the above ground peas and stuff like that. I've seen them doing it. But as far as root crops go, I'm not sure about root crops in the bale. Like I say, you have to break it open so
the root scout method, man. You just put the potatoes on the ground and cover it with straw. You don't have to. I'm not putting any of my potatoes on the ground anymore.
And I'm gonna throw it out there again, like I did last time, Gil. If you want to go on the really cheap, and you want to get those seeds started and germinating, go to your dryer, pull the lint. It works beautifully.
What you can do with the hay bale is you want your potatoes to touch the dirt. And so you can put your potatoes down on the dirt, make sure they have an eye on them, or get root or, potatoes. And then you throw the straw over them, and you want at least 12 inches over those potatoes, and they will grow in those conditions.
Yeah, I know that Anthony at Pimento Prepared did his what do we call it, stacking potato bin, which starts out with he has a square cut out, and he has the potatoes planted there, and as they start to bulge up, he adds more layer of dirt and adds another layer of wood on it, and just keeps laying. And I think he raised it up like 1.5 feet. during the season. And when he broke it all down, he had potatoes all the way down, a lot more potatoes that way.
Yep.
Never done that.
The old Corey method.
I've done potatoes in had good success with fingerling potatoes because you don't have to mound those up in pools and got plenty of potatoes. So
Yeah, that works. That's a great idea.
Yeah.
But if I lay a pool down, my geese are on it like flies on stink, man. You can't.
it's got dirt in it, dude.
Right, yeah. I mean, they just get up on top of it and make a lot of noise. Like, what is this?
Yeah.
Yeah. All righty. So we're going to wrap it up here. So Courtney is coming up in another 22 minutes here for Media Monday, where she shouts out channels. Tomorrow on Tactical Tuesday and on Gray Man Prepping. Actually, I put the wrong name up here. I should have had Camppatton Family Compound, but yeah. So Gray Man Prepping tomorrow night is how much electricity do you need? So we're going to talk about, how much, electricity you need to actually run the stuff you need, not want. So forget that 180-inch plasma TV. We're talking about the stuff you really need, your refrigerator, your freezer, that type stuff.
I don't know. On Monday Night Football, that 180-inch big screen,
That's a huge screen.
I'm just saying, Monday Night Football.
We'll see y'all over at Media Monday, all right?
I'll see you over there. On Thursday on Gray Man Prepping, is the scenario for Thursday's night after the event is, after the oil is gone, what are you planning to do? And then Friday night, on Friday night on the Homestead on Camppatton Family Compound, my other channel, which is this channel actually, is investing in your homestead. What do you need to get? What do you want to get? What do you budget to get? So that's what we're going to be talking about on Friday. So with that, everyone, stay happy no matter what life throws at you. Stay safe. Don't go out and do anything crazy like trying to ski down an icy street. And most of all, add to your preps water, food, medicines, garden seeds, and we'll see you around. Take care.